dive in. But all right, so much about what has happened on Tuesday is about what has happened over the last year with the stakes going even higher in online chess. The Esports World Cup has entered the arena, if you will, or chess has entered the Esports World Cup arena. Let's remind you of what happened in Riyadh at this amazing event before we talk a little bit more about the future here and what's to come.
And welcome to Riyadh for the final day of chess at the Esports World Cup.
He's going to win the 6 seconds. He could have an odd Arjun could. It will be Hikaru Nakamura who gets that third place.
The moment we have all been waiting on.
Going to see the final move of the tournament. Magnus Carlsen takes the victory. He wins game, set, and match.
It was awesome. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to in terms of the future of live events, regardless, and I'm not going to spoil something we're going to announce on the show today, regardless of what the EWC is doing, what we're trying to do with our own Speed Chess Championships and Chess.com Global Championships, is what the fan experience was there, how close the fans were, how wild the crowds were allowed and able to go. And given the feedback I've gotten from players, how awesome that experience was for everybody, and there were no real concerns. So when I see that video, my brain just starts spinning about all the awesome stuff we're going to do for the future of esports chess. But all right, speaking of the future of the EWC and so many of the things we're doing, we are now joined by someone who I'm realizing, as I say it out loud, has never been on a State of Chess show before. For many years, Arcus Fredrickson was at Chess24, the Play Magnus group of companies. And we're now here, Arcus, everyone pushing through the glass ceiling under one roof. But how are you, man? And how exciting is it to be on the precipice of where we're going here?
I'm doing well. No, great to be here. And, long time coming. And we've known each other for a long time, kind of on opposite sides. But I think I've always shared the same vision of where chess, and particularly online chess, can be. And I think that was kind of the most exciting thing and such a rewarding moment this summer, seeing chess in all the ways that we've dreamed of really coming to life on such a big stage with the cheering fans, with the players on these, representing all of these teams. And it was an incredible experience. I mean, there was lines out the door of this venue. So no, super exciting already just for the first edition. And there's many more to come and things to keep building. And, we're making changes here. So really excited about all this.
You just mentioned we've known each other for a long time. And given that, you look like you're 17, tell everybody when you first joined the Play Magnus group of companies at the age of 12, what it was that you did. Sorry, I'm going to go off script here and just let everybody know, even though you do look very young, Arcus, you've been in the chess game for a long time. Give everybody like the 30 seconds of how you got hired and how old you were. And so they know actually what an OG you are in terms of so many of these things happening in the online chess world.
Yeah, no, it's I actually just celebrated my 10th year in chess, which is great. So I was actually living in Norway. I was actually in high school in Norway. I organized a conference. I met Play Magnus and Magnus Carlsen at that time, and decided to start working with them. I think initially it was on social media, then a bit on finance, and then on commercial. And I think the main piece was around bringing together the various companies that form the Play Magnus group. I think where my biggest passion was kind of from 2019, 2020, when COVID hit, was launching that Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour that became the Champions Chess Tour. And I've been super passionate about, creating an amazing product around chess that fans can watch, that broadcasters, that media want to cover, that big brands like MasterCard and Puma that we had on a few years ago want to be a part of, right? And, this is just another huge step in that direction of getting, chess even more popular and getting more people to watch.
Amazing. And we're glad that you randomly ran into Magnus when you were in high school. So, because we're glad you're here 10 years later. But all right, we're going to talk a little bit about the format. I already have mentioned some of the kind of details of why we went to one event on Tuesday based on the community questions that we had rolling in. But we've got an explainer video that breaks down how this system is going to work. So instead of you and I leading and kind of stealing the thunder of that amazing video the team put together, let's throw to that and on the backside talk a little bit more and provide even more context for the fans watching.
The 2026 Esports World Cup Champions Chess Tour qualification cycle is packed with year-round action, huge prizes, and endless drama. Every single week, the world's best players battle in Title Tuesday for a cut of $3,000 in prizes and valuable tour points, awarded based on each player's best 8 results in each of 3 Title Tuesday seasons. Beginning in October, the Speed Chess Championship, chess.com's premier event, kicks off. 16 of the world's absolute best online blitz and bullet players compete for $250,000 in prize money, 3 qualification spots directly to the EWC finals, and tour points. Finally, in March, the chess.com Global Championship is back, the world's biggest rapid open online tournament. The 8 players atop the second Title Tuesday season will be joined by 8 additional qualifiers. These 16 players are fighting for 3 qualification spots to the EWC finals, another $250,000, and even more tour points. When the dust settles, the Champions Chess Tour will send 3 qualifiers from the SEC, 3 from the CGC, and the next 6 players on the tour leaderboard to battle the reigning champion, Magnus Carlsen, live in Riyadh for one of the year's largest prize purses. Chess is here. Heartbreak, brilliance. Blunders, drama, joy. This is the Champions Chess Tour qualification cycle for the Esports World Cup.
This is the qualification cycle to the Esports World Cup. Said well at the outro of that video. And this is also the qualification cycle to events like the Speed Chess Championship and the Chess.com Global Championship making its triumphant return. I feel like we've been burying the headline on that one. I'm excited for that. But all right, Arcus, again, adding any thoughts you want to the explainer video and kind of where we're going and what we're trying to do here. What are some of the things you'd love to really highlight about what this is doing to change professional chess as an ecosystem online?
Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, we've had great events in chess. We've had Speed Chess Championship, Title Tuesday, all these phenomenal events. But what we haven't had is unifying these all together, having an annual storyline, which I think is super key for fans to get involved and for the media to cover and for everybody to really know what's important to kind of watch out for in chess. And one of the big changes that's happening is that qualification cycle last year, it was just 2 Champions Chess Tour events, 10 days of play. We're now moving to this new cycle with 62 days plus of play with broadcast days through this amazing partnership with Take that we have, where they'll be producing 39 days of broadcast during this. So there's a lot to be excited about here. There's a lot to watch. And I think that's one of the main things that I'm looking forward to is just having something going around year round and all these great storylines. The other piece, and I think one of the real things that we wanted to encourage with these changes was getting more esports teams involved. That was one of the biggest, I think, positive surprises from just this first year with the EWC was that 30 players were signed to esports teams. All 12 players that qualified through our circuit and the others as well were playing for esports teams at the EWC. And by creating this annual circuit now, the esports teams have many more players to sign to their rosters, right? When we include Title Tuesday, they have many more events to participate in and show the team logos. And so we're really excited about that. And but I think those are the 2 main highlights for me, just that annual nature, the more broadcast days, and more esports teams.
When I thought you were about to throw to me, that was going to be the main point I thought you weren't going to mention, but I agree. The esports teams and the idea that they look at the chess calendar now with a lot more motivation to sign and compensate all the household names that we know as chess fans. It's probably not going to only be Magnus wearing a Team Liquid jersey and a lot more streams to come. We're looking at partnerships with all of the major organizations in esports, and of course, the Esports World Cup being a big carrot that they all compete for at the end of the year, as a way for us to continue to help, bring more fans to the game that we love and to help give players more opportunities in terms of how they can make money and maybe be motivated to make content and do things that more fans online want to see. So this is just the beginning, we hope, in many ways. And this ecosystem that, shout out to you and your partner in crime in many ways, Michael Brancato, who's not here, who worked super hard to look at everything we were doing, the tour as it previously was, the tour as it sort of evolved into now, and what is really going to happen for players as they qualify for the biggest events in online chess, right? Unarguably now all under one umbrella with the SCC, the CGC, and the EWC, to use the acronyms everyone's going to start using. But okay, all right, Arcus, seriously, great job. We are super excited about the future here. It's just beginning. And I think we're going to break the news now, drum roll. I don't know. We got to get better at building up to drum roll stuff. Vic, that's some feedback for you, producer buddy. I mean, I don't know how can you have a mini drummer just come across the screen when we do that maybe in the future? Okay. I'll leave Vic alone and jump into the announcement. Obviously, the calendar in 2025 was wild, Arcus. And so looking for ways to get our flagship, the Speed Chess Championship, back on the calendar while also considering the future of all of these partnerships like the Esports World Cup and what needs to be done was tricky. So the SCC was moved to Q4 of 2025, which meant that we were looking at early 2026 for a live final. And just this week, we landed at an agreement that is going to bring the Speed Chess Championship, let's bring it up, to London. We were in Paris last time. We're going to London, everybody. Big Ben. I'll save my bad English accent for anyone who wants to destroy me for that. Here we go. Actually, no, I'm not going to say. We're doing it. All right, here we go. We're going to London, and I'm not going to say the venue that we've committed to yet, but that's a big part of why we're so excited. This is a modern, world-class venue. London, an amazing city. If you've never been there, it's time to book your travel plans. It'll be February 7th and 8th, probably the 6th through 8th if we find ways to extend into Friday with some cool fan activities, but we'll save that because the SCC itself, who knows who'll be there again. Usually you think of Magnus and Hikaru, but you never know. Will it be Ali Reza Farouja again? Hans Niemann, will he be back? The SCC is going to be awesome, and it's going to be live in London. Arcus, I know I'm going to see you there.
Definitely. Super excited.
All right, man. You're also going to be getting to the party with Magnus and Mats. I know you're in Oslo, and there's a lot of things going on there. So I'm gonna let you get to it. Don't stay up too late. Don't stay up past your bedtime, young man. Okay, you. All right, man. I'm going to let you bounce, and we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we're going to dive into the things that used to kick off the state of chess. In case you missed it, there were tons of product releases, tons of things going on over the last several months. We're going to give you a fair play update, all the things we do in our general kind of in case you missed it happening on chess.com section. Don't go anywhere. The state of chess returns when we come back.